With this video, we will be doing You Can't Cancel Eminem, and if you want to help this channel and the content that we making, please help support our merchandise. The link is in the description. If you didn't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. Try and get the channel to grow, and the only way we're going to do this if you like, share, and comment on the content. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's go. Chi, get the yayo.
Get the yayo.
There are many groups that Eminem is quite despicable toward.
Lyrics from Eminem are from an album which is currently at number 3 on the Billboard chart.
Eminem album about the Eminem album.
There's nothing funnier than seeing Gen Z stumble upon an Eminem song and trying to cancel and boycott him on social media. What they don't realize is that canceling Eminem is impossible. Do you know why? Because in the early 2000s, he already faced some of the most intense cancellation campaigns in history. He was banned.
That's all factual. He already proved that he's uncancelable because they've been trying to cancel him since day one.
Since day one.
And 20 plus years later, he's still here, still relevant, still breaking records.
Still doing his thing.
Facts.
Stores, TV shows, and even became a topic of discussion in the U.S. Senate.
It's crazy.
Do you really think you can cancel him from your cave behind a screen and a keyboard? So today, we'll take a look back at the 5 most serious cancellation attempts that Eminem faced in the early 2000s.
Wow.
By the start of the new millennium, Eminem had already risen to fame with his first album, the Slim Shady LP, and he was already surrounded by controversy due to songs like 97 Bonnie and Clyde and Guilty Conscience. However, it was the Marshall Mathers LP that truly offended certain groups, and by the end...
Guilty Conscience was the one that really pissed a lot of people off, but it was a banger.
It was a banger.
Facts. Still to today, it's a banger.
However, it was the Marshall Mathers LP that truly offended certain groups, and by the end of 2000, attempts to cancel Eminem began. The first protests against Eminem that garnered media attention occurred on September 7, 2000, during the MTV VMA 2000 ceremony. Before the event, an activist group for gays and lesbians organized a protest against Eminem outside the Radio City Music Hall, where the ceremony was scheduled to take place. This group directly aimed to prevent Eminem from appearing at the gala.
Eminem has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Eminem has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Eminem has got to go. 2, 4, 6, 8, empty.
There's like 12 people out there. You're going to need more than that to
There's
cancel.
even more than 12 people to cancel Shady.
Now, this was 2024. It'll be a lot more people out there
you know that.
than that. It'll be like a parade out that mug.
Yeah.
But this was the early 2000s. That's
where it goes to show you time has a factor on all things.
Yeah, definitely.
Because just in that time and space, it's a whole different situation.
Yeah, we know it'll be a whole different crowd out there.
Yeah.
Promotes hate. 2, 4, 6, 8. MTV promotes hate.
We are here because Eminem's current lyrics on his Marshall Mathers LP really strongly suggest that young listening audience should go out and express their emotions through violence. Violence often aimed at the gay and lesbian community.
However, Eminem ended up being the big winner of the night, delivering an iconic performance and winning 3 awards. But my friends, this was just the beginning.
Out there, all the Eminem lookalikes, that was crazy.
That's gonna go down in history. Like, you always gonna remember seeing that, the impact that it had, because the impact the song that had, and then when you seen the song mixed with that, and you never seen that before.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
It was one of the moments.
Juicy stuff came later.
To help save for our home, we stopped going on trips and giving each other expensive gifts. We handmade them instead.
A year earlier, in 1999, after the Columbine massacre, the then President Bill Clinton, yes, the one who received a surprise saxophone solo in the Oval Office, the one who spent his time bombing half the world, gave a speech where, among other things, he talked about the influence of video games, movies, and music from certain artists on children.
And we do know we have to do more to recognize the early warning signs that are sent before children act violently.
All eyes turned to Marilyn Manson, and to a lesser extent, Eminem.
Represents in some ways the rap music, what I do with rock. He was catching a lot of heat at the time, so I figured I would maybe take some off him and bring it on me.
Things escalated further.
And it's like, yo, Marilyn Manson at that time, he was taking it. It was a worse to me at that time than even the heat that Eminem was taking.
Yeah.
But like Eminem said, Eminem did take some of that on from him, because they both was talking about we're just making music and we should be able to make the music that we want. And if people are listening to it, that means there's a crowd out there, that people that think like this. So don't get mad at us because we're just showing you some people agree with the way that we think. If they didn't, they wouldn't be consuming the music. Yeah.
On September 13, 2000, when a group of politicians, activists, religious figures, concerned parents, and other crappy collectives held a session in the Senate to discuss marketing violence targeted at children. And as you can imagine, one of the main points of discussion was the biggest star of the time, Eminem.
Now in the room, we have some easels that show some examples of this music. Now this stuff is not for the faint-hearted, but the music industry has decided it's for children. Nor are these obscure songs. The lyrics from Eminem are from an album which is currently at number 3 on the Billboard chart after spending 2 months this summer at number 1. He received 3 awards from MTV last week.
Meanwhile, this adorable old lady you see here was the one who put the most emphasis on Eminem. Her name
was like, at this point in time, they was making a big deal about the music and what the messaging that was being put out inside the music. Skip today's era, it's 1,000 times worse, and you don't really hear these same conversation that what the hip hop industry is promoting and the way that it's going is way worse than it was in this time.
But you also got to think about where that senator was from. He's from Kansas, bro. Like it's different than when you talking about like the coastlines or Gulf. Like you got different grades of people. Yeah. And it's like pretty Bible Beltish out there. Yeah. For real, for real.
So you could definitely understand why he was
had his point of view. So I'm not just throwing it out there.
But my thing is, what do you think of Kansas senator's perspective on hip hop today is?
Probably very much the same. Like they Snoop had some stripper poles and some ladies up at a KU game. Yeah. And they pretty much let it be known, you're not doing that around here no more. Here. Yeah.
Lynn Cheney. And you might recognize her from songs like White America or Without Me. These were some of the words the granny uttered about Eminem in the Senate.
I have lately been very disturbed by the lyrics of the rap singer Eminem. They could not be more despicable. They could not be more hateful in their attitudes toward women in particular. There are many groups that Eminem is quite despicable toward, but he is a violent misogynist. Wow. It is despicable. It is awful.
Put yourself through the torture of listening to this?
I actually listened to it, and I will give Eminem this credit. You can understand every word he says. Many rock singers and rappers you can't understand. This is absolutely clear. I decided that since the lyrics were so hateful to women, what I would do is write the 2 women members of the board of Seagram. Seagram owns Interscope. Interscope distributes and produces Eminem's records. Eminem received 3 awards from the entertainment industry last week, including Best Male Performer at the MTV Awards. Can you imagine that the entire industry honors this man whose work is so hateful?
Just a few months after this intervention, this grandma became the second lady of America, as she was the wife of Vice President Dick Cheney.
Artistic expression and freedom of speech only can go so far before you have Miss Cheney knocking at your fucking door.
You got a good
Whatever
point there.
trip you're
It's
planning,
a difference between
we've been
freedom
there.
of speech
TripAdvisor.
and music. It can't be incredibly good. Either I have the freedom of speech.
You will cry while eating.
If I have freedom of
Capriati's
speech.
sandwich shop didn't.
Oh, why are we even having this?
Why are we having this conversation?
Why are we having this conversation?
Because if I don't have freedom of speech, then you're censoring me.
Right.
So pick a side.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
After all of this, M was probably thinking that things couldn't get any worse. But he was wrong. In October of that same year, the Anger Management Tour was created, a tour that took Eminem, Papa Roach, Limp Bizkit, and more artists to cities across North America and Europe. On the 26th and 27th of that same month, the tour visited the Canadian cities of Toronto and Montreal. And you know what? More problems arose. Earlier in the month, Canadian activist Valerie Smith filed a complaint against Eminem with the Hate Crimes Police Department, stating that his lyrics were considered hate speech under Canadian law. The matter ended up in the hands of the Attorney General. And if they concluded that the complainant was right, Eminem would end up in jail if he performed the concert.
Wow.
A few days later, Attorney General Jim Flaherty stated that Eminem should be banned.
The only time I heard anything like this, do you remember the movie CB4?
Oh, yeah.
When they was like, y'all can't perform Sweat from my balls.
Yeah.
Or we gonna lock you up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't never heard nothing like this in real life, though, where they was like, yo, we really gonna lock you up.
That happened with NWA in real life.
Well, yeah.
CB4 got it from NWA.
CB4 got it from NWA, but I'm saying outside that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never heard nothing else.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
Entering Canada due to his violent lyrics against women, and that they were considering ways to prevent his entry. He even called immigration to prevent Eminem from crossing the border. Meanwhile, the opposition party, being even more cheeky, said that they should let him perform so he could break the law, and then they could jail him.
It's time for the Attorney General to investigate and, if necessary, prevent Eminem's concert. Well, these lyrics suggest that violence against women is cool.
Basically, they were saying that if he performed Kill You, he'd be headed straight for jail.
Gotta censor. See, that's what they be doing. They be tell you a song you could perform, but it's like certain songs you can't perform. With NWA, it was the police.
Straight Outta Compton?
The cop.
I can't think right now.
You know, the bad song gets the cops. Let's not leave it at that. The bad song gets the cops.
Issue about Eminem song, they worried about him doing I'll Kill You. I told him, yeah, do it twice tonight.
Finally, they couldn't prevent Eminem from entering the country, although it was a close call.
Yeah.
After
police. But like he said right here, it's like, just like with NWA, when they know they told you not to do a song and you do the song, you blow up because you showing, I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm still going to do my music. You're not censoring me. You heard what Exhibit said. He said, man, do that song twice.
Yeah.
Do it twice. Let them know we ain't playing.
Tonight.
Finally, they couldn't prevent Eminem from entering the country, although it was a close call. The first concert was on the night of the 26th, and Eminem arrived just a few hours before. You're probably wondering, what songs did Marshall sing? Well, I'm back. Kill You, Under the Influence, and Stun You, all in a row. And as if that wasn't enough, he dedicated some beautiful words to Valerie.
Toronto. How many people here tonight are sick of motherfuckers talking shit about me? I'm so fucking sick of every critic and every motherfucking journalist talking shit about my music. They told me that if I perform Kill You tonight, that they was gonna lock me up.
That's what I'm about to do. That's what I'm about to perform right now. I already performed it.
I dedicate this next motherfucking song to that bitch
As we reached the end of the year 2000, M took stock.
Well, if you wanted to change anything from the year 2000, what would you change?
If I could change something from the year 2000, I don't think I'd change a thing. I think everything fell into place right as it should.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad, you know. Maybe some things in my personal life I would have changed, you know, my little legal problems back home, which I can't really discuss, but maybe that. But other than that, everything else fell right into place. Everybody who I thought I was going to piss off with this album, I pissed off. Everything everything according to plan, I guess you could say.
Facts. It's crazy.
Looking good, guys.
Everybody I want to piss off, I pissed off.
But what happened in 2001?
UK?
Well, it came just like 2000 had gone. In February, Eminem had to continue with the tour, this time across Europe, and the United Kingdom was the final stop, and the one that gave him the most trouble. To start with, the police were being finicky and told him he could bring his chainsaw on stage, but couldn't turn it on, and if he did, he'd go to jail.
If, for example, in Manchester and London, they're saying that if you come on stage with your chainsaw going and the power's on, they're going to stop you. I mean, what do you think about that?
Oh my God. You know what? They should be so happy that I'm here to give them something to do.
Right. You have a chainsaw.
He said, yo, y'all got nothing to do. Y'all should be happy I'm here to entertain y'all. I got the UK popping right now. And this is the thanks I get.
Y'all gonna get me over a chainsaw on?
It's crazy.
So happy that I'm here to give them something to do.
You have a chainsaw, but if the chainsaw's going, or you take ecstasy, or you drink, or you say the F word, or stick up your middle finger, or move the crowd, or do any type of show at all, then we will arrest you. Because we are tough London cops. Tough Manchester cops.
And to continue, the press spent 24 hours a day creating more controversy.
Tomorrow night, 20,000 Eminem fans will rush up these rain-soaked Manchester steps to see the controversial US rapper take to the stage. But what role has he been cast in? Hero or villain?
Meanwhile, the gay protesters, or whatever this thing was, kept doing their thing. And if that wasn't enough, M had the brilliant idea of completely disregarding everything and performing a skit he always did before singing Purple Pills. That's when the cops grabbed him by the balls, and they spent hours reviewing the recordings trying to catch him.
Just when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, the tour is coming to an end, it's not, and now we're going to jail.
As a precaution, if you like, we've taken possession of that and we're studying the video to see if there are any offences that may have been committed.
Well, they looking for anything just to lock this man up. I just blessed 20,000 fans in your country. Entertain them. They like what I bring to the table. They're gonna leave here happier than when they walk into the building. What is the issue?
Yeah, they feel like this guy gave us his show regardless of what was in front of him.
Yeah.
And they're going to appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
And now you're trying to take me to jail.
It's crazy.
We can't perform any songs because we can't talk about drugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, have a nice night. We're sorry. There'll be no ticket refunds. Tear the stadium up, and it's not my problem.
No money.
And as an epic final point, after all of this, the Grammy Awards came around, and I suppose many of you already know what happened. With the awards just around the corner, the gay and lesbian activist group organized another protest outside the Staples Center.
We're here to say, for all the social justice organizations that try to make the world a safe place, that this is not art, this is hate speech.
They even paid to put this ad on TV during the ceremony.
The next time you use words like these, think about what they really mean.
That's when Eminem decided to strike back once and for all.
I do have a little surprise in store at the Grammys that is one of the main reasons that I'm going.
He enlisted one of the most important gay artists in history, Elton John, and ended his performance by hugging Elton and flipping everyone else off. At this gala, M took home 3 Grammys, and we could see the tension he was under before giving his first speech. The next day, all the newspapers and TV news shows had a slot to talk about the issue. I think you know how all these attempts to cancel Eminem ended, right? Well, if you don't, I'll tell you. 2 decades have passed, and Eminem...
Lamar Wilson here representing Ghetto Action News Network _, all lower cases.
No spaces.
You'll find us on Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you share something. Enjoy yourself and come back. And we're going to get right on into this.
Let's get it.
It's been many attempts to cancel Eminem.
Yeah, for sure.
But all for no reason at all.
All for not.
Because he seems to come out on top.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
You know, and it just goes to show you on all levels, you know what I'm saying? Social groups, different levels of even the government.
Yeah.
You know, he expresses himself very clearly.
Yeah.
And it works out well for him. I think this was a dope video. What you think?
I think it was a dope video. It showed like he always stuck to his gun. I'm not going to be censored. If I feel this way, I'm going to do it. If you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it anyway. That's why a lot of people fell in love with Eminem to begin with, because he always was a rebel out here since day one. And we all like a rebel, people that don't want to conform to what people are telling us to do. We're going to do what we feel is right in our heart. And that's what we all want to do. And no one did it better right here than the 5 examples that we seen in this video, epic fails of people trying to cancel Eminem. And what made this video pop back up is because, you know, after the Houdini video, he said something about Meg Thee Stallion. Then people was right back saying they're trying to cancel Eminem behind the Meg Thee Stallion bar. In this video, just showing people tried it before. It didn't work. Like you said, senators, we had governments, we had countries trying to stop him, and it didn't work. What makes you think you're going to do this behind your keyboard by typing stuff? It's definitely not going to happen. Thought it was a good video. Can't wait to do more like this. But until then, it's your boy Trey TV, and I'm out.